And here we go, SchreckTeck. And hi, everyone. I'm Rick Zanotti, and you're watching SchreckTeck. Gina's here, too.
I am.
There you are.
I have cameras. I have cameras all over, so I keep forgetting that I shouldn't be looking at that one. I should be looking at this one. Technical difficulties this morning after being gone. You know, I very rarely spend time at my desk on my desktop. So my poor desktop, and it's very new, but it gets neglected a lot. And so I think because it was sitting there dormant for 4 or 5 days, this morning I went to log into Skype and it just has the little spinning.
It went on. Maybe it's a union desktop, but it's on strike.
That could be. That very well could be.
It wants more attention.
We shall find out, because I am booting that back up and then just threw my Mac right in front of it. And so, yeah, we're ready to roll. And, you know, it's been a fun, it seems like it's been a blur of a week. Yesterday I was on a call, we were going over and recapping the week, and I said, gosh, I don't remember what happened last week. You know, it was just so fast-paced. So we had the big blizzard here in Denver, and all the schools got closed on Friday. The airport was canceling flights left and right on Thursday night, and I had a flight out to Phoenix on Friday. So fortunately, we made it. I guess flying south, they allowed those flights out, and but we still have snow today, which is why I need to move to Phoenix.
Really? You prefer the heat to the cold?
Oh my gosh. Well, we're actually looking at doing the whole snowbird thing, just buying a second house there and doing the whole winter in Phoenix, summer in Denver.
You know, I'm getting a lot of that here, too, that's what we want to do.
I know.
But we haven't totally agreed, but we want to do that. I'm not totally in agreement part, but
well, I would love the heat and could live in the sun. At 120 degrees, I could still do it as long as I have a swimming pool. And but you know, Kirk's always been the one of back and forth, not sure, until every winter when we have 18 inches of snow right now at our front door. That's still, you can't get to our front door. You have to go in and out of the garage because we haven't shoveled. Every night the wind blows it back over.
Right.
So, yeah, that makes it very unappealing.
So when you have that, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I grew up in snow, but I never had to work in snow.
Yeah, and that is like,
and that's a big difference.
An hour and a half commute when it should be 30 minutes. Yep. You know.
Yep, not fun.
No, not fun.
Then on the other hand, I've been in Phoenix when it's 113 to 18 degrees every day, and I go, you know, snow's not that bad, I guess.
It's not so bad. You know, and I think both climates have their point that you reach, that you say, I have to escape. So
now
yeah.
Hawaii's an option.
It is, but it's such a long flight. Like from here to Phoenix, it's an hour.
I know. And then you're away from the mainland, and that's the big problem. If you're still working, it's great if you're retired, but if you're working, you've got to be Hawaii-centric. It's really hard to do business otherwise.
Talked about that. It's so hard. You're so far away. And Florida, we've thought about going to Florida, but that's a 4-hour flight. Not as easy.
It's 4 hours, and you have to worry about alligators in your backyard. So that's.
There you go. Can't have a small dog.
We actually know somebody who had an alligator in his backyard.
Really?
The dog was safe. He had a fence, but the alligator was trying to get in.
Okay, that would be weird. Yeah. Yeah. So it was fun, and we did find some great properties, some great prices right now. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see what we're going to do. But right now it's kind of back to reality of snow and not so fun.
Well, we have almost rain today.
Almost rain? What does that mean?
It's supposed to rain. I think we've had a couple of drops so far. It's supposed to rain a lot today, but it looks ugly, but no rain yet.
No rain yet.
No, I'm looking out the window. It just looks kind of,
See, those are perfect days. Here's a good transition. Watch this transition. Watch careful. Those are good days to just snuggle up inside and start browsing through Pinterest. So we have talked about Pinterest probably ad nauseum on this show of it being, it's really the sweetheart social media site of this year. And it will continue to be, because the growth their experiences is still unbelievable. I think they have 7.2 million unique users right now that have logged in. Now, my guess is out of the 7.2 million, you've got a good mix of men and women. They're saying it's only like 56% women. To me, it seems more like 80% women. But I think what it is, the men log in, and then like my husband, they say, what's the point? I don't get the point. And as a matter of fact, we had this discussion this past weekend. The Schrecklet and I were browsing on Pinterest, and my husband says, I just don't get it. Like, what is in it for you guys if you share the fact that you like the picture of that tree?
There is no point.
No, there is. See, men don't get this point. So as a matter of fact, yesterday I did some research on this and threw out some survey questions on Twitter and Facebook, and I got some really interesting response because men don't socialize, obviously, the same way women do, but they do in the sense when they're playing video games. So if you have young boys or teenagers, and Rick, you don't have sons. So,
no, I have a daughter.
Yeah, but here's what's weird about boys. I have 2 boys and 2 girls, and when my boys were young and they would be playing video games, they could not play by themselves. They have to have somebody there to say, watch this, watch this. Girls are like that when they're looking at stuff. So I'm looking at a beautiful picture, and I don't want to just look at it. I need to show someone else and get validation, or I don't know if it's validation, or I want them to share in the joy that, look at these pair of shoes that I found, or look at this beautiful vacation spot, and so we want to share with other people the experience we're having. And I told him, I said, it's like for women, Pinterest is like sitting in a room with all your friends, and all of you have your favorite magazines. It could be tech magazines, could be vacation, travel, and leisure magazines. It could be, random stuff magazines. But you're all sitting with your favorite magazines, and as you discover great things, you show each other. And you say, look at these bacon Band-Aids. We all have to go online and order these. And
bacon!
I have to tell you, I did order bacon Band-Aids because I saw them on Pinterest.
You realize if you have a dog, your dog will rip your finger off.
We have cupcake Band-Aids, too. I thought of your daughter for these. We ordered all kinds of fun Band-Aids because we saw them on Pinterest. So yesterday I threw out the question, who has purchased items based on what they saw on Pinterest? And tons of people. The response was really kind of surprising to me because I thought maybe we're all just watchers and not really taking action, but a lot of people have seen recipes on Pinterest and they've cooked the items. A lot of people have purchased items. Some people said they've made craft items. Yeah, I always say the food and the crafts I think are cool, but I want someone else to make them. So
now, Gina, where is the first place you go when you want to go online to buy something? What store?
I'm very store specific. I know you're like a big Amazon person, and I keep saying I need to learn from you.
I go Amazon almost all the time. The main reason, pricing is good, but the main reason is the return. I bought watches there.
Okay,
but the return policy is so good that if you buy something,
I ordered 2 things yesterday on Amazon.
But the key is you have to order for something that is sold and fulfilled or fulfilled by Amazon. If it doesn't say get it by Wednesday, get it by Tuesday, get it by Thursday, don't buy it. Because then you're going through a third party, which means you're stuck with their return policy, which may not be that good. We've had a couple that were really kind of crummy, and they don't ship as well, and you pay for shipping. So as long as it's fulfilled by Amazon or Amazon Direct, stocked and sold by Amazon,
right?
And that's probably 80% of the products, or 90%.
Well, here's another thing that what you're talking about though is you have something specific in mind. You go to Amazon, you type it in, you buy it.
Well, yes and no, because sometimes I just go in and I just start surfing, looking around. One product leads to another, which leads to another, and before I know it, I'm getting screamed at the end of the month for spending too much.
See, on Pinterest, you don't have that problem because all you do is look and you pin.
So Pinterest should have a link to Amazon.
Yeah, well, a lot of Etsy. See, now Etsy is a website. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have a woman on our show who does. She has an Etsy. I call it channel. I guess it would be an Etsy store. And Etsy, ETSY.com, is a artisan site. So if you make anything, typically you will sell it via Etsy online. And then you can link your Etsy site to your Facebook page. Or she was saying she now has a Pinterest board that is all her Etsy products. So people can click on it and it takes them to her Etsy page where they can actually order it and she can fulfill the orders. Which, again, I discovered her because I asked a question on Twitter. She connected with me on Twitter. I went to her Etsy page, started looking there, went to her Pinterest page, looked at all her stuff, ordered 2 necklaces from her for my mother and my sister. So it is leading to purchases. So again, it's this whole phenomenon that's interesting for businesses that have products to sell. Now, yesterday or day before, I got wind of a site that is just for men. So I was fascinated by this because it said it is the Pinterest for men. So I started thinking, okay, if men don't like to share, what is this Pinterest for men? And Rick, that's when I sent you the link to Gentle Mints.
Gentle Mints.
Gentle
Here we go.
Mint.
And there it is.
There it is, gentlemint.com. Okay, so here's what I want you to notice about gentlemint.com. It's manly, indeed. However, there's no sharing going on. There's no.
That's interesting. You're right.
There's no sharing.
That's okay.
Yeah, but guys, maybe this is the key. You don't really want to know what the other guys think.
Well, we don't really care what the other guys think. I think that's the issue.
Okay, but then that leads me to a question. Why would you even post anything? Like when I'm browsing on the web and I see the Galaxy Nexus phone, and I go, oh, I love that phone. I click my little browser button that says Pinterest, and I pin the Galaxy Nexus phone to my Pinterest board for tech goodness. Now, for men, if you don't care about sharing, is it more the motive then? I want people to know what I think is cool or what I'm buying? What would motivate you to
I don't know. Some people do like to share at least what they're doing, or if they find something that they think is good, they may share with someone else. But I don't know. I don't see an insatiable need to share.
I know. See, and I think therein lies the challenge.
But remember, men hunter-gatherers. You don't share, you hunt, you gather.
Amazon. Therefore, Amazon.com.
That's right.
I thought the whole discussion was actually really. Kurt challenged us to really discover why we felt the need to share what we liked. He said, "Do you get satisfaction in knowing that other people like what you like, or do you get satisfaction in knowing that you can influence?" So it was really kind of interesting to think about it. I said, I don't know. I said, I think it's one of those things that women, now again, there are a lot of men on Pinterest, and lately I've had a lot of men I've seen, I get notices saying this person is following your pin boards, a lot more men, but I think they're just checking it out.
Maybe the meds are off.
Their meds are off. I think it's interesting. So I'm really curious to know, and let's see, I'm finally in the chat room here.
You need to lower your camera. You just went off camera.
Oh.
There you go. Now you're back.
I guess I can't close my laptop to see.
Always so is your mouth. It's like, oh, she's gone.
It's a lesson in this technology stuff. I'm curious to know in the chat room, guys, what is, like, is there a motive that you need for sharing this information, or I don't know. I'm curious.
Like for example, Jeff, who's often in the chat room, he goes, looking for camera. And I'll go, just bought new camera. And
here, link.
And then link. Then he'll send a tweet a month later, got new camera. So, we're much simpler in that respect. It's just, I need a camera. I need a video camera. I need a phone. So, and that's about it. So what do you like? I like this, And then for, friend goes, I like it too. And so I think that's why iPhone, was really good with women. When guys went, I like it. And so it's just a little bit different. It's a little more primal in the way we do it.
Yeah.
We hunt, gather, and then share with other guys.
This Gentleman site is interesting because it's definitely not pretty. There's no pretty factor to it.
No, it actually has absolutely no layout whatsoever.
No, it's just boring. It looks like you're looking in Walgreens men's deodorant section or something. I think
manly. It's manly.
It's manly. I don't know. And then you go to Pinterest and it's like this.
It's a site that doesn't quite smell right.
Yeah, if Pinterest had an aroma, it would be lilacs and roses. I mean,
and this would be Brute.
Yeah, and yours would be Brute and Old Spice or something.
That's right.
I think it's kind of an interesting psychological study. I think it would be really interesting in a psychology class to even bring this whole thing of social sharing. And when you look at Pinterest, it's really all visual. Now, I'm looking at it saying, how can you be a savvy marketer, like for hotels and restaurants? You have to feature your food, your drinks, your beautiful garden areas for weddings because brides are all over Pinterest. So for specific industries, there's kind of a natural marketing edge to Pinterest. For other industries, I think we're still kind of watching and trying to figure it out. How do we? I mean, again, I've pinned my book covers on Pinterest with a link to Amazon, or I think I linked them to my website to purchase them direct. So we're trying to figure that out. But I don't know.
Well, it's like on the Super Bowl. They had what is it, David Beckham? He did, I think, an advertisement. He's just basically in briefs. And the whole thing was showing, kind of an oiled body and all this. And the guys were all going, he's oiled. And the women were going, wow, he's gorgeous. So, it's we're looking at the technical side of he's oiled. Well, he doesn't really look that good.
The guys look at the women in the ads and go, she's gorgeous, and we're going, she's airbrushed.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. But that's different.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so here's chat room chiming in here. Let's see. Okay, so Larry is sharing SchreckTeck on my Smart. See, there's Smart right there. Somehow we need a Pinterest.
Yeah, but Larry's sitting there with a Viking helmet on while he's watching.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Okay, so I'm on Pinterest, but haven't pinned anything yet. Oh, interesting, Dawn. So Dawn isn't pinning things, so you're browsing. So it's really like window shopping. And that is another interesting aspect of Pinterest is you're just browsing and looking at...
But see, that's another difference. Okay, this is a major difference between men and women. Women go to a store and shop. They look for things. They'll pick up the same blouse 100 times and put it back. Then they'll go back again. Then they'll put it back. Then they'll try it on. It doesn't look right. They'll put it back. Then they buy it. And they may buy it after about 20 times visiting the same store. Guy goes in and goes, need a watch. Go, get your watch, you're done.
Yeah.
Or it's like, window shopping doesn't really exist for guys that much. You see something in the window and you go, want it. And then you go and get it. That's pretty much it.
And if women bring friends shopping, we shop faster because, well, maybe not faster. But
I don't know about that. I've seen the 8-10 hour shopping sprees. Thank God I'm not involved in those. Yeah,
well, that's true. Okay, so let's see. It's so girly it makes guys feel uncomfortable, Jeff said. Pinterest makes guys feel uncomfortable. See, now here's what you have to do. You have to find, I went on a quest this weekend to find men on Pinterest because I wanted to see what are they pinning on Pinterest.
See, you're supposed to find men on other sites, not Pinterest.
Yeah, I find men on Pinterest. And I found some guys who had really cool collections of robots. So I started a pin board for robots.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots?
No, well, they probably had those too, but they were really cool sculptures of robots and robot toys and robot little desk things. They were cool. They were cool robots. As a matter of fact, I want to go check out what the price of this one artist that makes all these really cool metal robots because I thought they'd be really fun gifts. But so I did find a guy who had cool robots, and then a lot of guys have cars on Pinterest, a lot of car boards, and so it's just different stuff. But I think it's interesting. A lot of food. Yeah, people are saying they like looking at all the images of food,
and you brought up another difference. Guys love their cars. More often than not, they give them names. They do all sorts of stuff like that. Women go, I have a car. It gets me from A to B, and it has to be small and give me a lot of mileage.
Yeah.
In many cases.
Yeah, I was going to say, not me. I look for cup holders and gadgets.
Right. But that's you. You're a little different.
Yeah. I'm all about what gadgets does it have in there. But anyway, so fun to check out this new gentlemint.com.
Is this by Pinterest?
No,
Okay.
I think it's somebody going, you know what, let's see if we can get a site up that's, because if it was Pinterest, it would be a lot more organized.
Now, see, to me, the name of the site is really sort of dumb. Gentle Mint strikes me as you're going to a hotel, they give you mint on the pillow, and it doesn't quite sound like any place you'd go.
Yeah, that's
Gentle
true.
Mint?
Gentle Mint.
I don't know.
I think that is interesting.
It's kind of a weird play on words. It doesn't quite reach that primal, I want to go there.
Yeah. Yeah, see. Anne is on
I think
program. Anne Franklin Designs. Okay, Anne, love your stuff. You've got to go to Anne Franklin Designs. She has a Pinterest board with her stuff. She has an Etsy page. And Anne, I fell in love with all your stuff last night and ordered stuff for my mother and my sister. So I need to think of more people to buy stuff for. See, I shop backwards. I find great stuff and then see who can I buy this for. And see, I think it is interesting. Pinterest has a beautiful look, but I know we're going overboard on Pinterest. So guys, check out Gentlemen. See if you think it's worthy of your pinning. And then I want to know from you, what is your motive for pinning things or sharing things online? Because I'm trying to analyze this. Do women just have this need to overshare?
Now I have a little something. It's not an app, but I'm going to put them on.
Oh, these are your cool glasses.
These are Gunners. Gunnars. Good male name, right? Gunner. Anyway.
See, now I'm going to have to find those and pin them on Pinterest.
Gunner optics. You notice that it's reflecting the light back more in some glasses case. What they do is they have anti-reflective coating for the front. They have a slight yellowish tint. I don't know if you can tell quite on the video. And the reason for that is it gets rid of the glare from especially LED monitors, which are very bright. And they're very light. They don't weigh anything. They have a very minor correction. So even for people with perfect eyesight, there is a very minor correction to bring out the text and also to really pop the colors on your screen. They're about $80. You can buy these at Best Buy, at Fry's, Amazon has them, or go to Gunnar Optics, Gunnar Optics, OPTIKS.com. I've been using them now for about almost 3 weeks. My eye strain has almost completely gone away. Very relaxing for the eyes. I have one at work and one here. If you look at them, they're pretty light. They have different styles, maybe 4 or 5 different styles. This is probably one of the more, I think this one's called Rocket Mercury or something like that.
Something manly.
Something, but they have more feminine names, like I'm not quite sure what. But anyway, it's got the little hinges. Not the one at work doesn't have hinges, but this one does, which I like.
Wait,
they're really.
Did you buy 2 pairs of these?
I bought 2 pairs.
Okay. See, so you spent quite a bit of money.
Yeah, about $160 on this stuff.
Yeah.
But less eye strain.
It's less eye strain.
Yeah,
okay.
that really makes a difference.
Okay.
And they're light. I don't even notice I have them on half the time.
That is cool. And you said they do come, like if I need reading glasses, I can get them.
You can get them in prescription. Some optometrists, you can do a search on their site for what optometrists locally will have these, or you can even send them a prescription and they'll make you reading glasses.
I like that.
2.5, 2.75, 2.25, whatever, 1.75. So they'll do the reading glasses, but what's good about these, we're all on the computers a lot, way too much probably. So what this does is it makes sure that you don't get all the harmful UV rays, you don't get the brightness. LED monitors are really bright.
So it's like being outside in the snow. When you're driving in the snow, your eyes...
Oh, it can drive your eyes crazy. You do need some sort of polarization to get rid of that. These aren't polarized, but they have a special coating. And again, this is kind of a yellow coating, very, very light yellow. After a while, you don't even notice you have it on. Like if I put it on right now, your hair becomes blonder. Your skin tones become pinker, more natural. So it actually is making a change to what you perceive. If you're doing Photoshop work, I'd probably be a little careful, but I think your eyes naturally adjust to it, so you probably wouldn't be too far off. But very clean, nice glasses. They're not cheap, but the optics are good. And now I did buy a pair of their sunglasses too. Those were about $120. Those I didn't like that much.
How many great pair of shoes you could have bought?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Women's shoes are expensive. Maybe one pair with all that. But the sunglasses I found, they're okay, but I think they're not really for being outdoors. They don't have any polarization. And they just seemed a little... In certain light, it was too dark, and in certain, it was too bright. So they're okay.
Okay, well, so since it's show and tell, I found a great app that I wanted to share last time. And you may have seen these online. They're animated GIF files. So you'll see a picture, and then part of the picture is moving, but the rest of it is still. Well, there is a really cool app, Canoptic, and I'll put the name in here. But here's one that I did. I had, let's see if I can get past the glare, and you'll see that the whole thing is a still picture. And then the wine is pouring, and then it'll go up, and then it goes back down.
That's pretty cool.
It's really cool. So I made a couple of them. Yeah, this was my first attempt standing in front of a mirror, the old bathroom mirror shots, where I just put the blow dryer on the counter, and it was blowing my hair, but then the picture is a still picture. Huh. So what you do, and it's a really cool process that takes seconds. You take a 3-second video of something. Now, you have to get creative to think, what part of this do I want moving and what part will be still to make it look cool. And if you go to the app, you can browse other people's photos and things, so it's kind of fun. But then you push the record button, it records 3 seconds, and then you choose out of that 3 seconds which frame that you want to use as your still, and then with your finger you rub the screen for the area that you want to be moving.
That's cool.
It's really cool.
You should post that one with the hair, because that's pretty cool, the way the hair moves.
Yeah, the hair is
You should
moving.
put that on Twitter. That's a pretty cool shot.
Well, I did, and I did. And
you did? Okay.
On Twitter, it's a link, so you have to go to the link to see it, the animated JPEG or animated GIF actually moving, because I tried to post one of these as a post, like a Facebook post. It doesn't work because it just shows up as the picture. So you do have to look at it in the app or on the website there for it to be. But I thought, how cool would this be to have a photo frame in your house that had some animated GIFs? I don't know. I was trying to think of ways to use this. And I'm taking up a challenge that I saw someone in a social media community manager chat that I was sitting in on yesterday. The challenge was to take a photo. Now they're using Instagram. They want to start an Instagram picture of their business every day. So taking a snapshot of something that goes on at work in your business every day. And I thought, I'm really good on Instagram of taking nature shots, or, the snow outside, or yesterday a deer that came up to my back door, and I opened the door and I thought he was going to come in the house. So I got some pictures of that. But I thought, I'm going to challenge myself to take one photo a day of what's going on in business. So that's kind of a cool concept if you think about. Now, one of my motives is, soon we will have, and they're saying by the end of this month, we will have Facebook timeline available on our business pages. So if that's the case, how will you visually tell the story of your business? So, here's a good one. I'm going to, I would have to actually be peeking out behind it to take the picture. There's my picture of the day. For my business. But So that was fun. So I've been trying to look again. My favorite thing is
Interesting.
photo apps. And
So when you
there's
saw
one-
the deer, did you open the door and say, "Hello, my deer"?
it scared me because I opened the door and he came closer to me.
Really?
And I said, okay, because
He was friendly, or was he?
I think
They don't really get that close usually, do they?
No. So I got an apple and I brought it out and literally held it in my hand and set it down, and he ate the entire apple right there. Didn't leave.
Wow.
So then I got carrot chips. Threw carrot chips right there. And then as he was eating them, 6 more deer came over the mountain like zombies ready to attack me.
Wow.
So I closed the door.
So the first deer thought of you as Mama.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is getting a little scary. They're going to attack. But one other app that I thought was worth it, and both of these I believe were 99 cents in the Apple store, in the iTunes store. This one is called Retouch. Oh, I'm sorry, it's called Touch Retouch HD. Again, I'll put these in the chat room because this one will save me so many pictures. This one, I've taken pictures at a client site, for example, this great shot of the outside of their store, and then when I look at the picture, there's a goofy trash can or something in the way, and I don't have any, fancy software or anything to get rid of it. So this Touch Retouch HD allows you to take a picture, and I'm going to show you right here. And then all you do is you say, okay, I want to get rid of this person. This is actually the realtor who is showing us property. So I want to get rid of her. So I paint her with my finger. And just for the sake of time, I won't go too detailed, but you can get pretty detailed. And then I save it. Oh, no, I apply it. And she will disappear out of the picture. Look at that.
That's really amazing. And what's even more amazing is that you would have to spend $700 on Photoshop to do the same thing, and a lot of training. And this you do with your finger in a couple minutes.
I went through some photos that I had. I went in one of the Hyatts here in Denver that we manage their social media, and I had taken some great pictures of the chef in action. But in the side of it, there were just some things in the picture that didn't make it look attractive to put online. Within seconds, I wiped out stuff. It was so cool. I was like, I really don't want this tray right here on the side gone. It's an awesome app, and so I had a lot of fun. So sometimes you'll take a picture and somebody is kind of photobombing. They're walking by, and here's your family with the perfect picture, and then this other person's in the shot. Now you can just snuff them out.
Now, do you take pictures with the iPad?
A lot of times I do.
Okay,
I know I shouldn't because
the camera's pretty crummy.
Oh, it's horrible.
But what I do is I'll take pictures with a good, like I have a PowerShot G12, a Canon, and I take pictures with that, and then I download it into the iPad and do a lot of processing on that versus what I used to do with Photoshop. It's easier, and they look just as nice.
Time, because then you have to look. I actually took 4 videos the other day, 30-second videos of this chef I was talking about. I wanted 30-second videos of him giving cooking tips. And I brought my iPad. And the fact that I could videotape him 30 seconds, I could edit. I put a shot in the front and in the back to fade in and out with the hotel name and location. And at the end, I put the Facebook page link. And I did all of it on my iPad within 2 or 3 minutes.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So it was just, it's just easier. That app I was just showing you is called, the first one was Canoptic. The second one is called Retouch. And really when you open it, I think in the store it's called Touch Retouch HD. But the app looks like, I'll show you the little icon because that's always helpful. It's a little, it's this one, right? I keep touching them. Yeah, it's called Retouch HD, and you might see it as Touch Retouch HD. Yeah, the iPad video is better than the iPad photo, so it takes better videos for some reason than it does video. Right. I mean photos, and the quality of the video I think is pretty good.
It's not bad.
Your challenge is the sound. You have to make sure you've got good sound quality.
Well, if you have a camera connection kit, you can put in an external microphone.
Right. And I have one of the little lavaliers.
Yep, not bad at all.
And it works well. Yeah.
Yep. It's actually a pretty amazing device.
Yeah.
And like we keep having the argument on and off with everybody. The iPad tablets really knock the Android ones out of the ballpark. They're just not there yet.
I know.
The apps aren't there. The apps are really crappy on Android compared to what you find on the App Store for Apple, at least at this point.
Yeah.
May change, may not. I don't know. And supposedly in March, the iPad 3 is coming out, so that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I know.
That's the rumor. I hope it comes out.
I'll be in line.
Me too. Well, I won't be in line. I'll just wait. But
I won't be in line. I'll be in line like 2 days later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am excited for the camera upgrades on that one.
Also,
so
from what I'm reading is they're going to put the Retina screen on it.
Yeah.
So it'll be sharper.
So you won't need your glasses as often.
Maybe not. Well, I don't use it for the iPad. I only use it on the big LEDs.
Right. So, now look, we've already been 45 minutes. I wanted to just a quick question.
We're 40. We started late.
How active are you on LinkedIn?
I'm on LinkedIn. I'm not as active as I should be.
So basically the same level of activeness as Facebook? Or are you more LinkedIn?
I think a little more LinkedIn because I'm in groups.
Okay.
I'm in about 3 to 5 groups.
Okay, that was the question I was going to ask is, and I'll throw this out to the chat room, how many groups, and maybe you don't even know, how many groups are you in on LinkedIn? And my challenge to people this week has been, go through your groups and clean house. If you have groups that you don't even participate in, get rid of them.
And I just did. So I took your advice knowing you were going to give that advice.
Yeah, you knew. Yeah, 28 groups, Colleen. That's a lot of groups. Now, if you can be active in all of them, great. Dawn's in 12. We just started managing the social media for a speaker, and I went through, and she was in like 30 some odd groups.
I'm in 4 now.
They were just random groups that somebody told her, you probably should join this one or this one for marketing. We went through and just got her out of all of them except a handful that she could shine, that she could share her expertise or she could learn from. And I think that's the key on LinkedIn groups. And so then that led to another question. Someone on our team was going through and actually removing her from groups, but it was so frustrating because if you're not always on LinkedIn, you forget, how do I remove myself from a group?
Right.
How do you leave a group? And I said, I do remember it was quite the process. So I went back in and I actually posted it on my Getting Geeky page yesterday because I was like, it's 8 steps almost to leave a group.
Was it that many? I don't remember. I went through it. It wasn't too hard, but you have to figure out where it is first.
Yeah, you have to go to
It wasn't quite obvious.
More, and then my settings, and then at the bottom right, there's a gray button that looks like it's grayed out.
Yeah, it'd be easier if they just had a button that says leave group.
Leave group.
Gee, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. So I thought that was an interesting thing to bring up is, look at the groups you're in, see if you can find groups that you can provide value or learn from and really participate in, because then we end up pulling those group discussions into our Hootsuite dashboard so that we can be quicker on the answers to questions and being responsive. And if you can't do that, are you really getting the value for all that content you end up hoarding? I mean, again, I think we're content hoarders, and that show, I'm sure there's reality
I keep going back to what Neen said, and I have to do this with LinkedIn, is spend 15 or 20 minutes a day on LinkedIn.
Right.
And I haven't been good about that. I'm pretty much good on Twitter with that one, but on LinkedIn I haven't yet. Right. Now, let me ask you something. Is it worth buying the premium LinkedIn or just stay on the regular one?
Stay on the regular one. I mean, unless you are a power salesperson that is trying to get in with some executives that you can only get in. I mean, there are some people I know that use the premium level LinkedIn because they're really hardcore networkers, that they have a strategy of, find 3 people that surround this executive. You send LinkedIn mail to all 3 to try and get appointments with the exec. I mean, there's some strategies to that. But for the regular networker, don't even need to. See, if you're a person that's posting jobs, a company that's posting open jobs, then again it makes sense. But not if you are networking and learning, using it for a social network. Well, you don't need to. Dawn is saying pay for it only to post for job applicants and sales is what she's read. Yeah, high-level sales. Again, if you're trying to reach, again, it's hard because you look at it and go, is an executive going to be on LinkedIn and paying attention? There are a lot of executives who have their profiles there, and they're very guarded who they will take invitations from. So there, in that case, if that was your target market, the paid version would be good. Yeah, and there's some analytics to that. So,
well, you know what I like is the idiots who send me invites, friend request, not friend requests, but let's link together, let's connect, and they say we worked together before. I never heard of this guy. It's like, yeah, you know what? Sure, we did.
They actually don't say that. And here's what's frustrating about LinkedIn. When I want to send a LinkedIn request to someone, the choices that LinkedIn gives me is we work together, or you are my client.
Right, or friend.
And if we're friends, I have to know your email address.
Mm-hmm.
If you were my client, I have to choose. Okay, to me, there needs to be one other choice.
Yeah, and really, they flat out lie a lot on that. So it's like, oh, come on. You really think you can start a relationship by lying to somebody? Smart.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I'm one of those open networkers on LinkedIn that I'm always looking at, okay, I'm not going to write recommendations for people that I don't know, but I'll connect with them on LinkedIn, because you never know who you might want to be introduced to that they know, or so Colleen is saying click friend and it lets you in. I thought you have to actually then know their email address. If you click friend, doesn't it ask you?
It did ask you for something. And it might be email address.
But yeah, isn't that funny? You can say I'm their friend and the person doesn't know you. So LinkedIn's interesting, but it's definitely worth using. But you have to spend time there to be familiar with how the ins and outs. And if you have a group, there's so many great features. If you manage the group, great features to send. We always set up the rules for the group to say when somebody wants to join the group, it sends them an automatic message reminding them that the discussion area is for discussions. If you want to promote your business, that's in the promotions tab. So there's some features that we tend not to know about or take advantage of. And if you do spend a little bit of time in there, you'll find really wonderful features. So I think it's next week that Vivica van Rosen, LinkedIn expert, she's going to share some really great features and benefits and things about LinkedIn. So I thought we better start cleaning up our act.
She has a great name, and we're going to call her Vivica van Rosen.
Vivica van Rosen.
Yes. Sounds good.
I'll be Rocky, you be Bullwinkle, she'll be Natasha.
Hey, Rocky.
Yeah. So there's our challenges for this week is try and see if you can take a picture a day regarding your business, telling the story of your business and what you do in pictures. For some of us, it's easy. For others, it's going to be a challenge to really think through what depicts my business in pictures. And I think that'll be a fun. I'll get it.
People working on terminal. People working on terminal. People working on terminal. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a hard one for a computer company.
It'll be interesting to see if towards the end of the month, as they say, that we will have Facebook timeline for our business pages. And if so, will we have enough visuals to depict our business?
Now, Gina, if you had only one, would you choose A, Facebook, or B, LinkedIn?
Is there a C?
No.
Twitter?
A or B?
See, I would pick Twitter, then Facebook, then LinkedIn. And probably that's just because it's my comfort level and my ADD, tendencies.
But if you had a choice and there was only one, Facebook or LinkedIn,
Facebook.
You would go Facebook.
And I'll tell you why. I like the visual nature of Facebook.
Okay, that's true.
I go to LinkedIn.
LinkedIn's very text. Yeah, LinkedIn is very textual.
I like pictures. I just want big pictures and no words.
So do you think a guy would go for LinkedIn or Facebook?
That is interesting. See, that would be another interesting.
Now, I'll tell you, the guy would go to Facebook to look at the girl pictures, and then he would go to LinkedIn to do something professional. How's that?
Oh, go on Gentleman and buy some fruit deodorant. Yeah, no, it's interesting. I think it's we'll have to all weigh in.
We should have Kirk on the show one day, and he and I can just go,
Colleen says guys would go to LinkedIn. Oh, interesting. Dawn says, younger guys would go to Facebook.
Interesting. That's probably right.
Probably right. Anne agrees with me that Facebook love the pictures. It's like, and that's why I think we love Pinterest. Pictures.
That's also because the young guys know they just can't compete with the old guys on LinkedIn. That's all it is.
Yeah, well, I think LinkedIn just seems so. It's like going into a business meeting. You feel like you need to put a tie or a jacket on.
Right.
And
right.
On Facebook, you feel like you're at a networking party, and it's more casual. And Twitter, you just feel like everyone's just standing around talking to themselves.
So now the key is to find out who's more successful, a LinkedIn person or a Facebook person.
Yeah.
I would assume the LinkedIn.
The statistics show the demographics are higher income on LinkedIn.
On LinkedIn, yeah, that's what I thought.
And unemployed people are all hanging out on Facebook.
On Facebook, having a good time.
So let's go. I'll meet you over there on Facebook. Yeah, I think it's interesting. You know, it's an interesting thing as business becomes more and more social, and we continue to. See, good question, Don. What are they successful at? You know, it depends on what your business model is, and it depends on who you're reaching, and all of these. But I think businesses are becoming, they have to become more and more social at a faster speed because the consumer is demanding. Consumers are downloading and consuming apps at such a fast pace that businesses have to see, how do we use Pinterest,
right.
Instagram, videos, how do we use all these tools to captivate and keep our these consumers. So yeah.
Well, that was an interesting show. We ran late, but we made up for it in flight.
Made up for it in flight. Yeah, well, we still pushed our 30 minutes a little long.
Well, we're at about 45 right now. 46.
Hey, Krista, I have some cupcake Band-Aids I'm sending you.
Oh, no more cupcakes.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for being in the chat room. And if you're watching this on the video recording, please subscribe. Leave your comments. Nobody leaves comments. Leave your comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Well, don't forget, we also have a Facebook page for all of our archived
exactly.
videos.
Yep.
Facebook.com.
And nobody's leaving comments on the stuff. Very few.
Yeah.
We need comments.
Chat it up, people. Chat it up.
We need comments. You get a free Band-Aid for every comment. How's that?
Exactly.
Bacon Band-Aids.
Hey, I'll show you my bacon Band-Aids like next time.
I love that commercial with the dog. Bacon. I can't wait. One of my
I'm going
favorites.
to send you bacon Band-Aids.
That's right. Anyway, everyone, have a good one, and we will see you next week with Viveka Van Rosen.
Viveka.
That should be good.
Yes.
All right, hey.
Fun. Thank you, brilliant people in the chat room. You guys are awesome. I love reading the chat. This was actually a good setup. I could see the chat easier.
Bye, everyone.